the new one from what? Well, first of all, I mean, I know why they chose the music in the trailer, but it was just kind of like it didn't work for me. It is what it is. But I think from a
I
casting
know. I'm not sure why they
standpoint,
did that.
well, I mean, you have a great score. I don't know if they didn't have rights to it or what, but it was just kind of bizarre. But Pedro Pascal is great. Colin Nielsen is back. Obviously, Denzel Washington. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. But let's see. I mean, it's just one of those films. I was talking to one of the first episodes that I did on this podcast was 2 years ago with David Prezzoni, who wrote the film. And we were talking about the sequel at the time, and one of the things that we talked about, like, it's very difficult to make a sequel because, you know, Maximus is no more. So how do you make a sequel on Gladiator? Like, it's like the whole thing. So I don't know how they would do it, but I'll go see it. Um,
I mean, I'm
but
gonna go and see. I mean, I do like Denzel.
yeah, and
He
it's
pulls it
Ridley
off.
too, at least, right? The
He
Ridley
pulls it
Scott's
off.
another. Yeah.
Yeah, he pulls it off. And it'd be interesting to see. I think the visual effects will be really great. Because I think that, Paramount will have spent the money, because they need to. But Ridley did shoot a lot of stuff. In Morocco, they did all the
Yeah.
fire stuff and everything, and they had the tank shots for the water. And but obviously they're going to have to put it on because they can't, because they built the Colosseum was built in the same place in Malta when I went, and there were a
Oh,
few
did they?
extra
Okay.
buildings. Yeah, there are a few extra buildings down at the end, of the space that we didn't when I was telling you when I went and found my sign. They kind of used a bit more. They put a few more buildings in because basically what's happened at the fort is that the Maltese haven't really looked after it. So there's
Mm-hmm.
very big sinkholes that have appeared. So they had to kind of put stuff around it to
Just to cover it up.
just to cover it up because it was quite bad. And the fort, where all the bows were, where we did all the stuff where they go up like that to go into the Colosseum. So that same set of rooms was used again. And also where I did Proximo's quarters, where I told you where I got the thing, they could those buildings have all been condemned now, so they couldn't go in there. And so it's a bit sad because it was amazing it's an amazing spot, but I guess they just no one wants to spend any money on it really. So it's
Yeah.
eventually just gonna literally just, and it was built, you think about Napoleon goes to Malta and builds all those incredible fortifications because they're Napoleonic, and you
Mm-hmm.
go and you see these walls and they're like unbelievably thick, and have you been to Malta? You
No, I
went,
have not.
yeah. Oh, you've
No,
never been.
I've never been to Malta. Yeah, I would love to one day. I've been meaning to
You
for a
should
long
you should
time.
go just if someone asks you to go. I mean, it's a sort of strange place to go for a 2 week holiday, I'd have to say. Um, because I've only ever been for filming. I've done 2 films there, and I've only ever been for filming, and I went just recently. But it's a sort of I can't imagine what you. I don't know because I was allowed to like go and rummage around everywhere. When you go filming, you can actually see the
Yep.
place, can't you? And you can go where it says no entry. And I think that's what I like about my job because I do get to
Yeah.
go behind that no entry sign.
No, I get that. I totally get that. Who knows? Maybe one of the film locations for my film that we're looking into is possibly in Morocco. But if we don't get
Oh, I
something there,
love
then
Morocco. I can't
maybe
tell you how
Malta.
much
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
The light in Morocco is just unbelievable. The light. I just honestly, and the light in Malta, but the light in Morocco. I'm sure you know it well.